Political Buzz is your rapid-fire look at the best political topics of the day. 3 topics, 30 seconds on the clock. Playing with us today, Democratic strategist and former DNC communications director, Maria Cardona. And Caton Dawson, Republican consultant and former chairman of the South Carolina Republican Party. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you. Good morning, Carol.
Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, first, it's the 9-letter word that epitomizes gridlock in Washington. I'm talking about, of course, the sequester, or in layman's terms, forced budget cuts. In an hour, President Obama will step before the cameras and urge Congress to act to avoid those automatic draconian budget cuts. It is a familiar scene for the president, who seems to be reduced to begging Congress to do something, anything these days. So our question, what would you say to Congress to avoid sequestration? Caton.
Well, first of all, good morning, Carol, Maria. I would think that either party, the Democrats certainly don't want to get caught cutting entitlements, and the Republicans don't want to get caught cutting defense spending. So what I would tell them is they're going to stand down. Sequestration's coming. The public understands the credit card's full, and the president's going to make his pitch. But the easy path for once is for them to stand down. If you talk to people in Washington, you see it, feel it coming, whether right, wrong, or indifferent. I would predict to you that it's going to be a way of life, and that's what's going to happen.
Oof, Maria.
Well, the president's doing exactly what he needs to be doing, which is essentially telling American voters to tell their members of Congress what they want, what they don't want. They don't want the cuts, the automatic cuts to mental health programs, food safety, education, small business. But if all else fails, Carol, they should gather all of those members of Congress, especially the Republicans, for being so obstinate on this, and send them on an all-expenses-paid cruise trip on Carnival Cruise Lines.
But not maybe taxpayer money or anything, right? Yeah. Okay, on to South Carolina now, where a special congressional election is attracting what can only be called a very diverse group of candidates. This is the greatest election ever in South Carolina, including this man.
I've experienced how none of us go through life without mistakes. But in their wake, we can learn a lot about grace, a God of second chances, and be the better for it. In that light, I humbly step forward and ask for your help in changing Washington.
How's that for a political lad? That was former Governor Mark Sanford, whose 2009 trip to Argentina to see his mistress not only ended his marriage, but a promising political career. Sanford is vying with 20 other people, including the sister of comedian Stephen Colbert and the son of media mogul and CNN founder Ted Turner. So the question, is Mark Sanford poised to be the next political comeback kid? And I'll start with you, Caton, since you are from South Carolina.
Well, if Mark Sanford can keep the narrative in the forgiveness story, the infidelity, and the apologies, he's going to win that race. But I would predict to you that Stephen Colbert and his sister's going to be on the Democrat side are not going to let that happen. Plus, you've got hard-hitting political activists and political operatives in South Carolina that are going to change the narrative to some of the real facts. And lastly, Mark Sanford is not the first politician to start dating while in office and while married to be able to get away with it. So he's a good politician. He's going to stay on message. And again, he's got Colbert sitting out there waiting on him.
That's right. And he won't be the last politician to do that either, Kate. Maria?
That's right.
Well, I guess we're nothing if not a country of redemption, Carol, and Mark Sanford is certainly doing all the right things in terms of making this the one issue so that others don't. But I got to tell you, if he's the front runner in South Carolina, does the GOP really have nothing else to offer other than Mark Sanford? It's a sad state of affairs, no pun intended, for the GOP in South Carolina if that's the case.
Oh, ow, ow. Okay, final question. You could call it the Big Bang Theory. First Lady Michelle Obama opening up about what her husband called the most significant event of inaugural weekend, her hair.
This is my midlife crisis, the bangs. I couldn't get a sports car. They won't let me bungee jump, so instead I cut my bangs.
So you went for the bangs. You're still in charge. You're the boss of your hair.
I can do this. This is all mine.
Come on, guys, cut the First Lady some slack. With a 73% approval rating, she's more popular than most of Washington. Our question, what should Michelle Obama do for her next act of rebellion? Maria.
That one's going to be a tough one to top. The bangs are fabulously popular. Everywhere I look, I see more women with bangs. I might get bangs myself, Carol. Maybe you should too. But I would suggest maybe a tattoo, Carol. Nothing outrageous, but something very classy and small, maybe a little rose on her fabulously cut shoulders. I think that would be fantastic.
I can't wait to ask Caton this question.
I've got it. I mean, I can scratch the sports car itch right here in South Carolina by inviting the President and First Lady to the Darlington 500. Guarantee you the First Lady will beat him in a race car. That will scratch the race car itch. That will get it, and then they can vacation in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where Michelle Obama can take up golf and learn how to beat the President there also.
I love that answer, Caton. Thanks to you, Maria Cardona, Caton Dawson.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Carol. Thanks.